Ox.
All right, welcome everybody to LlamaCon. It's an honor to be hosting you all today. It is crazy to think that 2 years ago, open source AI was a dream. I remember the conversations we had internally when we started talking about this. People were like, you guys are nuts. There was this financial question, does it make sense to spend all this money on training a model and then give it away? There was this priorities question, is this going to be a distraction to focus on developers and open source instead of just training the best model and putting it in our products? When we started talking about it externally, it was just like, this is bad. This was like peak AI doomer 2 years ago. Everybody said open source is going to fall into the hands of bad guys. There was not a lot of imagination about all the good that could come of it. There was the safety and security questions. There was the performance question. Could open source ever compete close to the frontier of the closed labs? But we were in touch with the startup community. We were in touch with developers. We were in touch with entrepreneurs like everybody here. And I mentioned this up here last September, but we were a startup once too. I was at the company when we didn't have a lot of financial resources. And we wanted control over our own destiny. And we built this place on open source. And from the very early days, a lot of our best engineers were contributing back to the open source stack that we were built upon, or becoming primary authors of new open source projects in the web stack, and then over the years, the mobile stack, and then over the last decade, the AI toolkit we build upon today. So it is great to see now that open source is cool. There's general consensus in government, in the tech industry, among the major labs that open